Okay, perfect. Well, tonight we are going to continue with the book GoPro, and I hope you are reading, you are following with the chapters. And the reason is because, yeah, I highlight some of the things. We use I use my own spin, but the main things that it's important that you read also the book, because there are so many things that I cannot cover always on the call. But anyway, as a matter of fact, these webinars are a great way for you to guide you through the book. But tonight we are going to be in the second skill, and probably is one of the most important skills that we have to develop. The first one that we talked about was making a list, getting prospects, and actually that's the simplest to learn. This one, the number 2, is the one that a lot of people fail. Now, when you go through numbers, even if you are terrible at this skill, you can still get people and be successful. But what if your percents go way better? And since I've been using Eric Worre, actually before we had the seminar with Eric Worre, I was using many of his skills already because I knew about him. But I was missing a couple of steps. And it's interesting, as soon as I add those steps, percent of people to get to committed to a meeting or a tool has gone way up. It's much more powerful than I used to do it before. But anyway, and of course, this is about leverage. The better the skill you are at something, the more people you're going to get in. And here, inviting is really important. I mean, follow-up is really too, and list, everything is important, but especially inviting, because here you're going to, this is something that you can use in many things, not only in your business, but in many other things that you do in your life. But anyway, let's start it. Now, Eric said that he was a hunter when he started. He was scaring people, and I have to say that I was like that too. When I started in network marketing, at first I was jumping on people and say, oh, I have something amazing. It didn't matter if it was the product or the business. I was jumping on people, and people were running away from me. And I bet many of you still are hunters. The cool thing is that by learning a new skill, we can change from hunters to the next step. And that's something that is really powerful. And that's when you become like a gardener. A gardener takes care of the garden, obviously. We plant a seed, we develop a connection. When our prospects are ready, they will join. We are not pushers. And that's something very important that we have to have. Yeah, we have to have a little hunter, go outside to look for prospects, but we have to make sure that we are a gardener. And especially in social media, in a few weeks, we are going to start something in social media and doing a training here in Salt Lake City in 2 weeks. And in a few weeks, I'm going to start something on webinars. But social media especially, you have to be a gardener. You develop connections. And that's the way that you are going to be more successful in whatever you do. But anyway, let's go to the next one. Now, the purpose of this skill of inviting is really 2 of them. That's it. You don't try to sell anything. No, it's important. No products. Oops. I don't know what happened here. They are just 2 things. By the way, you don't try to sell anything. Your purpose is just to invite a person to an event or to preview a tool. 2 things. That's it. Really simple. Now, invite to event is powerful because you meet person face to face, and I don't know why this is so low. Maybe I missed something here. Oh, and these are the events: the home launch presentation, the one-on-one, the webinars, business meetings, local events, and also even using Skype is a good way also to have events. Also, you're going to see more and more in the future Google Hangouts or Google Live. But anyway, these are events. You're inviting people to events. And again, these are really powerful because you can meet people face to face. And even if you think that you never are going to do a home presentation party, very important that you invest in a launch party kit. It's only $29, and it has a lot of tools, not only to do the presentation, but now it comes with a CD that you can use to invite people to your events. Not only offline, like invitation, etc., but also online. You can set up invitations on social media. It's really powerful. Now, the next one, and I like obviously company events too, inviting tool. Now, the tools are really important. I love tools because they are easy to duplicate and very easy to share. Imagine if you had 2 or more people a day looking at your tools. It could be at your website. It could be recorded calls, magazine. Everybody's handing out at least 2 magazines a day, or a CD. This is really powerful. And this is the main activity for prospecting that I love to do. But again, in order to do it right, you have to make sure that you invite the person right. Even if you are handing out something to a person, it's very important that you have an invitation to the person on how, to make sure that the person is committed to listen or read the magazine or to watch a video, etc. Even if you are handing out a tool. Again, the process of invitation works as good as for local events or when you are handing out or sending people to a tour. Now, this is a secret, and this is something I heard many times, and I don't know who came with this phrase, but I know Eric Worre used it in his book and in his seminars, and he said, success in this business is the ability to get a large group of people to consistently do a few simple things over an extended period of time. Again, success in this business is the ability to get a large group of people to consistently do a few simple things over an extended period of time. The cool thing about this is you think about what is something consistent that your team can do is, again, using the tools. Also, obviously, inviting people to events, but using the tools, and that's really simple. They don't have to have a super skill yet. It's why they do a lot of three-way calls with you first, etc. But everybody can hand out a tool. Now, if you teach them what we are talking about now about how to invite people, and you actually even give a person, if somebody comes with a 30 days or a business package or a president package, I give them the book GoPro. Especially if the person say that they are committing to build. But it's really powerful, this skill. Now, there are four important rules when inviting. This is really important. The first one, rule, do not get attached emotionally to the outcome. This is terrible. This is something that happened to all of us. I remember at first when people didn't come to my first event, I invited over 50 people, and obviously I didn't do it right. Nobody show up at all. Nobody came. Nobody. Zero. I was so emotionally upset. But I'm glad there was something in me that said, well, do the presentation anyway. And I did the presentation myself to nobody. I have all the chairs set up, and I play the video, and etc. But it's really important that you don't get attached to that, because if you get attached every time somebody say no, I don't want to see that, or even in when you do presentation, I don't care about you, I hate you, I don't like your product, I don't believe in network marketing, I don't believe in nutrition, I'm okay what I'm doing. If you attach to that, then you're not going to survive in business. And I'm not talking only our business, but any business, because in some businesses even nastier what can happen to you. But here we detach of the results. We are just educating, basically, and they decide. Very simple. The second one is be yourself. You know what is interesting? I've seen people many times that they talk normally, like I'm talking right now, and then suddenly they start talking to a prospect and they say, well, let me tell you a little about the company. And this is talking to their friends. They change their voice, they change everything, and suddenly they become like a totally different person. Just be yourself. Don't try to imitate anybody. And I know many times we try to imitate somebody, but I was watching a video, I think it was, I don't remember, but anyway, a couple of days ago, I don't remember who said the answer, but somebody said, I would like to be like you. He said, oh no, I am taken. You be the best that you can be yourself. In other words, this was Peter Sage, I think. The important thing is to be yourself, to be the best, and one day you're going to be the best. That's simple as that. Rule number 3, passion. Really important. Passion, or to be excited, not to be really low-key, like you don't feel that or you be so nervous talking to the person and you don't have passion, etc. You have to show passion. And the best way is before you talk to people, and we are going to talk about that in some other webinars, is that you see yourself and talking to the person, and you can see how that person is going to be benefited of Isogenics. When you have that in your heart, then you can have more passion when you are talking to somebody. And then, by the way, that passion is going to give you the next one, and it's the posture. Posture is so important in business. Posture is just making sure that people know that you know what you are talking about, even if you're brand new. And what I mean that what you are talking about, not necessarily about the facts about the company, but that you know that this can change their life, that they're changing yours, and it's going to change their life. That's the posture. Posture that I know this is good for all of us. Now, you decide if you wanted to take a look at this. This is basically what you're saying in your mind. That's the posture, and this is really important that you have one. Now, and I want to make sure I repeat it here. Do not get attached emotionally to the outcome. Be yourself, passion, posture. Really important, those four. Now, let's go at the steps for great invitations, the best invitations. Now, these steps are essential for a good invitation. And by the way, if you have the book on you right now, make sure you mark it. It starts on page 48. Is when he starts through all the different skills and different scripts. Now, I'm not going to go through all the scripts, obviously, because if not, we would go until late into this webinar. But let me tell you about the steps. First, be in a hurry. Second one, compliment your prospect. And we are going to go through those in a second. Number 3, make the invitation. Number 4, if I, would you? Number 5, confirmation 1, get the time commitment. Number 6, confirmation 2, confirm the time commitment. Number 7, step 7 is confirmation 3, schedule the next call. And then get out of the phone. Really important. We are going to go through all these steps in a second. If you want to, you don't have to, by the way, take notes because I assume that you have the book. And again, these start on page 48 of the book, GoPro. Now, let's go. And this is, from this point on, you're going to see how cool this is. It's amazing. I love it. Step 1, be in a hurry. This is really important. You have to show that you are busy. And the other thing is, the reason you do this is because you don't want to get into a long conversation with your prospect. You just want to get to the point. You want to get out of the phone in less than 5 minutes. Now, you saw 8 steps and said, that sounds longer than 5 minutes. Well, let me show you that it's not the case. But anyway, these are examples for warm market prospects, and we are going to go for a couple. I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it was really important that I reach you. I have a million things going on, but I'm glad I caught you. You see different ones. I am running out of the door, but I need to talk to you real quick. Any of those? Oh, you can come up with your own ones, but as you see, it's really quick. Now, this is another one. Oh, hold on. This is, oh, by the way, the one before warm market. Here, for example, now I know it's not time to get into this, and I have to go, but, and then you say, or I have to run, but, you see, what you want to is to create curiosity. I'm in a hurry, but I had to talk to you. I'm in a hurry, but let me tell you what happened to me. It's something that I like to do. I'm in a hurry, but gee, you can't believe that what I heard. Or I'm in a hurry, but I found something. I'm in a hurry. You see, always make sure that you're in a hurry. The other reason that you do that is because in reality, most of you most of us started network marketing part-time, and then you have to make sure that you leverage your time, that you really show that you're in a hurry, and that way you can connect with more people. But you see, here are examples of cold market and warm market, and you can find most of those examples in the book. Now, compliment your prospect, and this is really important and really powerful. I think this is probably one of the most powerful of all, because when you compliment somebody, you open a door. Now, this is really important. When you compliment somebody, it doesn't matter if it's somebody you know or you don't know really well. Make sure you feel and that is a real compliment. Don't try to make it up. Inside you are thinking that the guy is a dork, but you are going to tell the person, oh, you are an amazing person. Now, actually say it from your heart what you feel about that person. It's really, really, really simple. Now, examples for warm market. You have been very successful, and I have always respected the way you have done business. This is really cool. This is when you're talking to, obviously, to somebody that has been successful in business. But you see, if I'm talking to you and you are successful at some kind of business, and I said, you have been very successful, after I tell you that I'm in a hurry, I have to talk to you, and then I said, you have been very successful, I have always respected the way you have done business, you probably are curious thinking, what the heck? Tell me, what's going on? Or this one is another one. You have always been supportive of me, and I appreciate that so much. Now, this is great to use with family and close friends. Again, you say, remember, they say, I'm in a hurry, and then suddenly you come with this, and they're thinking, well, do you have a problem? What can I do for you? This is another one. You have an amazing mind for business, and I can see things other people, and you can see things that other people can see. That's a really powerful. You see, you can choose yours, or you can come up with something similar. But stick as first with the scripts if you don't feel comfortable about creating your own one. And I think this is more than enough. They're really powerful. Now, these are more about complementing your prospect. These are cold market, people that you better just met, or people that are in some kind of service, sell you a car or something. You have given me some of the best services I have ever received. It could be even with a person that's waiting tables for you. You have given me some of the best service I ever received. This is after you say, you know, in a hurry. Let's suppose that you're in a restaurant. It's why you don't say that at the beginning. It's just say it when you are ready to go. And this is something important that I hope many of you learn. I've been in restaurants with many associates, and we are coming out of a meeting, and most of them jump the gun. I never jump the gun at the beginning, but I see people jumping the gun and then trying to say, they say, oh, we have an incredible product, and you don't have an arm, and we help you to grow an arm, and then you can be millionaire. You scare the person. Here, you can say, when you're close to the end of the meal, just before you get the check or something like that, say, you know, I'm in a hurry, but you have been giving me one of the best service ever. Or you say, people like you make a lot of money in my business, or something like that. Of course, people, or you are super sharp. Can I ask you what do you do for a living? This is in case, obviously, it's not when you're in a restaurant, because obviously you know what the waiter is doing. It's when you are meeting or talking to somebody. It's really simple. You have made this a fantastic experience. Could be a restaurant or something like that. Now, make the invitation. You see, you were in a hurry already. You already told the person something great about that person. And now let's go to making the invitation. And this is really important. Here are some examples for Worre Market. When you told me, and by the way, this is really common. People complain a lot about money, health, whatever. When you told me you hated your job, or you were in pain, or you wish you had a bigger house, or etc., were you serious, or were you kidding around? And people say, of course I was complaining about that. I need more money. Great. I think I found a way for you to solve whatever problem, to do this or do that. This is for a situation where you know of the dissatisfaction of the person, because obviously the person, I told you. But you know how cool is this? Again, you call the person that is in a hurry, then you tell the person, oh, by the way, I respect the way that you are, etc. And then you say, oh, by the way, when you were telling me about the lack of money, or that you would like to have a bigger car, or move to another city, or have more money, or have more time with your family. Were you kidding me? You see, it's so cool. This is a really, really cool script. Now, here's another example. I think I found a way for us to really boost our cash flow. Or like I say, I found a way where you and I can make a fortune. I love to use that one. By the way, I'm not writing that because they are not part of the book, but that's what I love to use. I say, oh, I think you and I can make a fortune. I found something that you and I can make a fortune. When I thought of people who could make an absolute fortune with this business, or with the business I found, I thought of you. And of course, person is really curious, because you say that you are in a hurry, that you were telling how great the person say, and then you said, when I saw this business, I thought you could make a killing. You see, you can use your own words. You don't have to go exactly for the word, but keep the heart, the spirit of the script, and don't make it longer. Are you still looking for a job or a business? I found a way for both of us to start a great business without all the risk, or with very little risk. Are you still looking to open a business? I found something that you don't have to make so much investment. Are you looking for a job still to work 40 hours a week? I found something that you can stay home and make money. I mean, you see, there are many things that you can say. Really, really simple. And at the end, by the way, I'm going to get this all together. We are in step 3. Now, their steps are going to get faster, but let me go to a couple more. This is the indirect approach. I just started a new business. I'm really nervous. This is after you say that you are in a hurry and you say to the person, gosh, you're a great business person and I admire you. And then you continue saying something like, I've just started a new business. I'm really nervous. But before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? In most cases, this is going to work. And something I love to say is, I'm starting a new business and I'm going to start a campaign. But before I start using the videos, I want to send you one and to tell me, what do you think? It's okay with you? You see, that's indirect approach. I've been using that one for a long time. Or I found a business I'm really excited about. But what do I know? You have so much more experience than me, or you have so much experience. Would you look at this for me? If I made it easy on you and let me know if you think I'm making the right move, let me send you a video, something like that. I don't use this kind so much. I prefer the ones before that I told you. But this one, I know people make it very, very successful. And again, there are more scripts that I'm telling you on the book. That means that you have unlimited scripts. And let me go to one more. This is the super indirect approach. Now, it's super indirect because you are assuming you're basically talking something totally indirect. You're like this one that you see on the screen. The business I am in right now is not for you. It is not for you. But I wanted to ask you, who do you know that is ambitious, money motivated, and would be excited about the idea of making more cash flow to their life? And by the way, usually this is when you are talking to somebody successful. Who do you know that would like to earn 6 or 7, even 7 figures a year, just working a few hours a week? You see, many people are going to say, well, me. This is also one of my favorites. I use it's really similar to this one a lot when I was starting out. Or who do you know that might be looking for a strong business they could run from their home? Who do you know that has hit a wall with their business and might be looking for a way to diversify their income? Or who do you know that have a lot of clients, but their business is not going anywhere? What if they can create another income without increasing the overhead? This is one that Jimmy Smith, that's the way that he started using that one. But you see, guys, so far, really powerful scripts. And again, what I'm doing today is guiding you through this. You are going to use the book to go deeper into this or creating your own scripts. But always keep the heart of the script. Now, there's one more. Example of cold markets. And this is cool. As a matter of fact, I used this one also when I was starting in my first company. It was taught to me by a guy that's really successful in network marketing today. I think he's something like $4 or $5 million a year. He's semi-retired. This guy used this script. He said, my company is expanding in your area. Will you do me a favor and take a look at it and let me know if you think it would work where you live? He was usually carrying videotapes or audio cassettes, and imagine how many years it was. That was in the 90s, early 90s, and that's what he was handing out a CD. An audio cassette or videotape. And you are going to see more about that in a second. But this is making the invitation to somebody you barely know. Or I started a business with a product I think makes a lot of sense, but I would like to get your input. Would you be willing to check it out and give me your opinion? And again, from here you go to the tool. You see, it's really simple, and I say many times, and let's go to the 4th step. This is really powerful. This gets your beginning of your commitment. This is something that when you use it, you are going to see way better results. And it's the step 4, if I, would you? If I gave you a DVD, would you watch it? You see, you talk to the person and say, I'm opening a business here, If I give you a video, will you watch it? Or your friend that said, I know you and I together can earn a fortune. If I give you a DVD, would you watch it? Or if I give you a CD, I gave you a CD or a magazine or a link to a website. In this case would be isamovie.com. Would you check it out? If I invite you to a special invitation-only webinar, will you attend? If I invite you to my home where somebody is going to be there showing this amazing business, will you come? And by the way, I'm going to have a video, bring the popcorn. I used to say that a lot. If I invite you to a special invitation conference call, will you listen to it? You see, it's really simple. I'm going to leave it in the screen. Now, the if I, would you? If I, would you? Start using that tonight. I mean, go to the book, put your script together, and choose one of them, and stop using it tonight. But you're going to see how powerful this number step 4 is. Now let's see step 5. Confirmation number 1. Okay, you ask the person to show the tool. Would you, and they say yes, the next step is you are going to get a time commitment. When do you think you could watch the DVD for sure? When could you listen to the CD for sure? Or when you could watch the link that I sent you? Or when do you think you see, you say we could. Now here, I remember you're using tools in most of these cases because tools are the fastest way to duplicate. Remember, a lot of people doing simple things for a long period of time. This is the simple thing. Inviting people to a tool. It could be your website, it could be a webinar, it could be a CD that you gave to the person. Really simple. Very important. You do not suggest the time. You are waiting for them to tell you a best time. And the reason is, and by the way, most of the time we have been taught, and I have done it in the past, where you say, well, we actually at 3 o'clock or at 5 o'clock. But this is more powerful, and you're going to see why, because you get more into the commitment, the other 2 commitments that you're going to see in a minute. But this is really important. Do not suggest the time. Step 6, confirm the time commitment. Now, you got the time commitment here, and now you confirm it. If they tell you they will watch the DVD by Tuesday night, for example, you say something like, so if I call you Wednesday morning, you will have seen it for sure, right? For sure, right? You see, you had 2 affirmations there. I don't know if it's correct English. For me, everything's correct English when somebody is saying. Confirm the time commitment. You are confirming the time commitment. If they say they will listen to the CD by Thursday morning, then your response should be, so if I call you sometime later in the day on Thursday, you have listened to it for sure, right? You see, for sure, right? And this is cool because you can do the same thing with the link. So if I call you on July 2nd, you will have looked at it for sure, right? Now, some people know actually one person was saying, this sounds like manipulation. No, this is great conversation. This is because you have to the same. They say that the secret for success is asking the right questions to yourself and to others. Well, here is an example. You are using the right question. But you see how simple, and you end it with sure, for sure, right? And then confirmation number 2, schedule the next call. What is the best number and time for me to call? They give you a time that works for them, and now you have a real appointment. This is the follow-up. Because you say, if I call you at 5 o'clock in the morning, or whatever you have, but then they're telling you the time of the call, the time of the commitment that they have with you, the appointment. Now, look at this. They have said yes 4 times. This is a strong commitment. Here I have Adrienne Carbonell. She is going to tell you, what do you think about all this process? Because you learned a lot when we went to that seminar.
Hi, you guys. This is Adrienne. Yeah, I love that we're doing these Eric Worre things. I said that on the last one that we did. But I think the biggest thing for me at the Eric Worre event was realizing that people are using scripts. And for me, I've always, tried to be like a wild card and want to be unscripted in a lot of ways. And of course, if you're reading something, if you're reading like straight off the webinar or straight out of the book, then you're going to sound scripted. But I think if you just take a step back and realize that these scripts were designed for the purpose of creating conversation and helping you guide them to, either saying yes, no, or maybe. And there's a reason for putting those together. On my call this morning, we talked about that. We talked about, understanding that, sharing with people and using some of these scripts is a natural part of really service. of giving them a great experience. We talked about what a good customer service call sounds like, and we talked about resetting appointments, calling people back who are either on the products or were at one point interested, and giving them, somewhat of a customer service call, but using the scripts to set the appointment. When would you for sure be able to meet up? When would you for sure be able to watch this? When would you for sure be able to, send that link or post that? When are you for sure going to post your story out on Facebook? Like setting the appointment, helping them, guide them, that as they share their story and as they use the scripts, that they're actually, building their business. It should feel somewhat of a natural progression. So if you look at these scripts in your head, you're thinking this is so scripted. Well, you're doing it wrong. I mean, you really want to look at the scripts and use them as a guideline for creating conversation and guiding people to an appropriate place to make a decision from. And so that's, why I love the Eric Worre scripts so much. And so anyways, yeah, here's George.
Thank you, Adriana. And as you say, what she said, she confirming that part is so important that you don't have to use the exact words, use your own words, but important is to keep the 7 steps. Now, people say it 4 times, yes, this is important. Now, let me show you the next one that is really interesting. Get out of the phone. It's so important for you guys to get out of the phone, because the problem is if you don't, then you are going to take forever. They can get into another conversation. And remember, you said that you were in a hurry at the beginning. Now, these calls are going to take most of the time less than 5 minutes, and you're going to see how. Again, this is step A, get out of the phone. Here's an example with all the steps. Hey, I'm running out of the door, but I need to talk to you real quick. Do you have a second? And the other person says, yeah, I have a couple of seconds. Great, listen, you have always been so supportive of me, and I appreciated that so much. I just started a new business, and I'm really nervous. Before I get going, I need to practice on someone friendly. Would you mind if I practice on you? Cool. If I give you a DVD that laid out the information in a professional way, will you watch it? Or if I send you a link, will you watch it? It is about 50 minutes long. When do you think you could watch it for sure? Let's suppose that they say Thursday. So if I call you Friday morning, you will have reviewed it for sure, right? And they say yes or no. Fantastic. What is the best number and time for me to call you? They give you the information. Oh, yeah, call me this telephone, 801-333-333-333. Great, we talked then. Got around, and thank you very much. You see, it didn't take even 3 minutes. You see, it seemed because you say 8 steps, that sounds like a lot. No, some of those steps are seconds, and you see how simple it is. Guys, use this script. Make sure you learn it, the heart of the script. Go through them. Read that part, that chapter, again, the script starts on page 48 where they have the steps, but this is the second skill. Make sure you repeat it many times. Practice with your dog, your cat, your family. Abraham Lincoln, when he was practicing his different presentations, discourses, and talks, he was talking in front of cows and pigs. Come on, we can do the same thing. He's a great example. So talk to your wife, or your husband, or your kids, or your friends. That's a good idea. But anyway, as you see, it's really, really, really simple. This is amazing script. It's going to help you a lot in the business. And now, oh shoot, hold on a second, please. I went too fast. Let me go back. All right. Now, let's remember this. This was from last week. For every 100 people, there are 2 to 7 who are willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Now, if you use this script, you're going to sponsor more than 2 to 7 people every 100. But what happened also is that you are going to be closer to those 2 people that can change your life, because 2 people could create a tremendous organization under you, and you can earn a 6 or 7 figure per year. Remember to read chapter 4 and 5 and start applying this now. The reason I say 4 and 5 is because chapter 4 is the one on prospecting, And these two chapters together are really important because you're not going to be able to talk to anybody if you don't have a list. Chapter 4 and chapter 5 is this skill. Make sure you read this chapter if you have not done it and start applying it right now. When I mean right now, when you look at this script, you can be in an hour or less, you can be ready to start calling people. Now, how many leaders you must have on each leg to succeed? Just 2. Remember, you can earn a 6% unlimited debt up to $702,000 per year. I talked about that last week, and I'm repeating it right now because I feel that it's so important that you realize the power of what we have here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. And before I go, I want to make sure if we have any questions. Alex, are you there?
Yes, George. Thank you so much, and thank you, Adrian. This was fantastic. And no, George, we don't have any questions yet, just positive comments.
Perfect, perfect. And remember, the best way to become a master on whatever is by doing the basics. And this is basic but powerful. And this is a skill that, imagine if you want to be a medical doctor, I don't know what is the main skill that you need in general, because I know a medical doctor. But you see, when I say that number 1 and now number 2 are really powerful, you see how simple compared with any professional. And the cool thing here, you can earn much more money than a medical doctor without all the liability problems and the time problems and the etc.
Well, that is definitely
okay,
true.
I'm glad, guys. If we don't have questions, excuse me.
No, George, I just wanted to add that, it's, I guess to become a medical doctor takes 6, 8, 10, 12 years. I don't know exactly how long it takes. Never bothered to really look into it. But I know that here, there's people that can earn much more in way, way less.
The other thing, if you apply yourself really strong, you can learn all the 7 skills in a really short time. What I mean in 3 months or less. And the best way to do that, obviously, is by practicing them. And you're going to realize that some skills are really easy to, really fast to. I don't want to say easy, but really fast to learn. There are other skills that take a little time mostly because sometimes we don't have a strong belief in ourselves yet. But in reality, these skills can be learned in a really short time. In 3 months, imagine you can learn all these skills that can get you an income that not even medical doctors dream many times. And even if it takes you 6 months, even if it takes you a year, but the important thing is that you keep practicing. When the book Fake Worre came with these 70 skills, I remember Alex and I and many other leaders, we were saying, whoa, first time that somebody has been able, for some reason, to put it so clear in a book. And guys, just study a book, go through this webinar again. Again, guys, it's amazing, amazing book. And if you have the CDs, also make sure you listen to the CDs. Because many people, we do both. Actually, Adrienne loves to listen to the CD. She put it on her iPod now, iPhone, excuse me. It's really cool because you can listen to all the chapters, and it's amazing tools.
Great. Well, then.
And by the way, when you combine it with the isogenics training, isogenicsbusiness.com, that's where you had the isogenics part. Whoa, you are becoming a monster in the industry of network marketing.
Excellent. Well, thank you, George. Thank you, Adrian, and thank you to each and every single one of you for joining us. Don't forget, for next week, we will go on to the next step.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, have a good evening, everybody.